Oh, live. All right. So this is a I wanted to react to this because this is a I watched like the first is in like 30 seconds of this Russell Brand video. It's talking about metaverse, and I'm really into stuff, really interested in this stuff basically. And mainly I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about this basically, and just talking about how wouldn't it be weird how if you could meet your maybe loved ones that have passed away in the metaverse. So basically, because they get loaded up in, you know what I'm saying, into a metaverse basically. So you're able to meet still see them even after death. So anyway, I'm gonna play this and then I'll react to.
Good news! Thanks to big tech companies, we're all going to live forever. The bad news is you're going to have to give them even more data, but even the most private data, especially that. Hello there, you 5.5 million awakening wonders. Together we learn and grow. The light within us burgeons and spreads. We learn how to communicate openly and lovingly with tolerance, openness to one another, in spite of all the odds. If you want to come to a one-day event with me and Wim Hof, register for my mailing list. Become a part of my weekly bulletin community. There's a link at the end. I'll put it up there where I'm pointing now. You'll see it at the end. Join the old mailing list. For now, though, let's focus on the important news that a metaverse company has come up with a way of us living forever. Let's see how they can make a few quid out of it. A metaverse company, first of all, you'll realize that Facebook changed their name recently to Meta because metaverse is not just a Facebook thing, it's a new phenomenon. There's a thing called metaverses. And in order to make themselves the Coca-Cola of that thing, they changed their name from Facebook to Meta because that's the future of the world that we're moving into. And they didn't want to be left with the luggage of their Facebook name. Hey, it's Facebook. Oh, baby. Like some dirty old granddad in the corner. That's why they changed the name to Meta, so that you say Coke automatically. Oh, Meta, Metaverse, it must be that Facebook thing. Well, it ain't. There's loads of them. Metaverse company is offering the chance to live forever in its virtual world, even after you die in real life. I've got two things I want to say here. Firstly, you cannot get into the sacred realm of the seed of consciousness via technology because it's impossible. And two, what are they up to? What are they trying to get out of this? What's the angle? You know what people fear above all else? Yeah, death. It's death. Good. Right. Let's promise them that they can avoid death and then take all of their data, all their private information, and get even more control over them and their lives. Oh, no, we can't do that, can we? Yes, we can. We are doing it right now. That's literally what we're doing. Somnium Space has revealed plans to offer immortality to its users with a new live forever mode. I've always been a bit scared of death, the fact that this is final, terminal, can't go on. Can I avoid that? You certainly can. Okay, what's the price of a ticket? We'll tell you. They would need to provide a large amount of personal data to Somnium Space. They start, don't they, there? They start with, we need a large amount of data. What would persuade people to give us a large amount of data? God, well, people surely by now have realised that what the internet does is promises you stuff and tells you it's for free while simultaneously mining all your data, selling it to advertisers, turning you into just a unit of consumption, an agent of consuming and purchasing, stripping you of your autonomy and freedom just to turn you into a full-time 24/7 365 consumer. Everyone knows that now. No one's going to fall for it again. Never, ever. What if we promise them eternal life? Oh, God, yeah, then they might. Artur Sikov, CEO and founder of Somnium Space, recently revealed to Vice his plans to add live forever mode. The intention is for your immortal avatar to move, talk, and act just like you. I don't care what my immortal avatar does after I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm not there anymore. Hopefully, by that time, I've realized the truth of oneness, that there is a consciousness behind my material form, and I can rejoin that even if it's impersonal. I'm not going to be thinking, oh, I hope West Ham are doing well. I'm dead. I've got enough to worry about. Unlike many of its competitors, Somnium Space is already compatible with virtual reality headsets, allowing for an immersive 3D experience. Live Forever mode, a forthcoming feature in Somnium Space that
I wonder if Somnium Space has a cryptocurrency.
Allows people to have their movements and conversations stored as data. Oh, allows us to have my movements and my conversations stored as data. I mean, I suppose that's some comfort that I could speak to my nan and like it would remember exactly what my nan was like. But in my heart of hearts, I would know that is not your nan. That is not Jen Bright of Lily Church Road, Dagenham. That is just some information. And a human being is more than information. Stored as data, then duplicated as an avatar that moves, talks, and sounds just like you. It's just like sex robots for the grieving and can continue to do so long after you have died. In Sikov's dream, people will be able to talk to their dead loved ones whenever they wish, even if this is a well-intentioned tool to help people meet, you know, their ancestors and to cope with grief and to meet dead people and go, what was it like during the war, Granddad? You know, that's perfectly sweet and perfectly fine. But I would say this, if as a co-committing component of that, it takes all of your data, that's something that you should be aware of. All we need is all your data to make it as articulate and authentic as possible. Interesting, as the internet got a history of taking data and misusing it. And second, when inevitably this technology ends up in the hands of tech oligarchs and the mightiest people on the planet, what do you think their priority is going to be? All we want is for the people in the world to meet their dead granddad and have a good old chat about the allotment. That's all we've ever dreamed of. It's just people in the world talking to their dead granddad. Do you want to make any money? Money? Oh, no. Do you want power and influence? Do you want to mine consciousness, direct behavior? Do you want to collaborate with governments around the world till people don't even know what they think anymore because they're spellbound and hypnotized in a constant state of consuming, having articulated products bombarding them, fireworks in the mind, no peace, no rest. Oh, no, where are you getting this from? When Mark Zuckerberg gets hold of this shit, do you think it's going to be good for humanity? Ghostly Phil Calf Zuckerberg staring down into your mind, using your dead granddad to look at what arse ointment you're going to need to buy next week. Hello, it's me, Grandpappy. Back of mine, babe. It was just a horse and cart. How's your asshole? Oh, not been that well, actually. Yeah, why not try this new asshole cream? It's what your granddaddy would have used if he was alive. Literally, if I die and I have this data collected, people can come, or my kids, they can come in and they can have a conversation with my avatar, with my movements, with my voice. You will meet the person, and you would maybe for the first 10 minutes while talking to the person, you would not know that it's actually AI. That's the goal. I agree that that's miraculous, that can be achieved. It's brilliant. What an achievement. But those achievements, I believe, should be directed at creating a genuine, if not utopia, that doesn't seem realistic, a well-functioning set of systems where human beings can communicate freely, can run their own lives, all the stuff I'm always banging on about. Don't use it to suspend the illusion that we can live permanently, and certainly don't use it to capture data and ultimately to sell you intimate creams for your most private part, relax. Using your dead grandmother's face to offer you some new kind of ass ointment. We've discovered who the best brand ambassador would be for our ass cream. Who's it going to be? LeBron James?
Russell,
Beyonce?
relax,
you know, if Beyonce uses this on her ass, why wouldn't you use it on your ass? Better yet, your dead grandmother. Back from the grave to sell you ass cream. We couldn't, could we? Hello, Russell. It's me, your grandmother. I'm American now because more Americans watch these videos than English people. So, you know, we made a few changes. God, Grandma, why are you back? To tell me that you're proud of me, that you love me, that I've become everything you hoped I would become? Yes, all of that. But also, is your asshole okay? Sikov believes he is creating a more responsible business model that he hopes will allow users to feel comfortable forking over limitless amounts of data to the company for analysis. The Live Forever feature will be off by default, and the company says it will not collect data on anyone unless they opt to pay for it. Have we been here before? The company hopes to make the price as low as possible. Very kind. Somnium Space charged early adopters around $50 a year, but Sikov predicted the intensive costs of data storage will always necessitate some.
This is, do you know why this is very weird to me? Sorry to come on, just make it very, very quick, basically, right? The reason why this is weird is because you're going to charge early adopters around £50 for a year, but Sikov predicted the intensive cost of data storage will always necessitate. So the data storage, what they're talking about, which is gonna, I guess cost, $50 per year, because I say £50, $50 is, I don't know if you guys are aware of a cryptocurrency called, I do believe it's called, is it? There's Filecoin, which is for data storage, and then there's others. Is it LivePay? There's others basically, but I'll focus on Filecoin because this is for those that don't know. There's companies like Microsoft and others as well have I'm pretty sure it's Microsoft. Don't quote me on that. Just kind of find out basically. But they essentially invested and put money behind anyway. They put money behind to support the technology called Filecoin, because why? That's going to be the future of data storage basically. So when I'm reading this stuff, it's just kind of connecting the dots in terms of, okay, this is what Filecoin was created for, and they're looking for it to over I guess take over from clients like cloud storage is basically in general, right? So you got the I don't know, you got OneDrives and G drives, whatever the case may be, right? So they're looking to say, or what's the thingy? Apple one, basically, right? So these are what's going to replace what we have now. They're like the Filecoin. So when I'm reading what this guy's saying, he's talking about, I mean, this is pretty much, is going to be, this part of the metaverse. That's what that Filecoin, basically, that's what a Filecoin technology is going to allow for people that are looking to store their data within clouds or whatever the case may be, or data from not just the data he's talking about, for example, right? This is like capturing metaverse data and using storage like Filecoin to do that. So when you're connecting these dots, you realize yourself this is really a real thing for people. And this is why I tell people a lot, please can you get and start looking into the metaverse as much as you can, or crypto or blockchain in general, because this is where the world is going. And people just think it's like, people will call you conspiracy theorists or whatever it may be. This is happening. Like, it's happening. It's not just these people are just crazy and they're thinking all this stuff is, no, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen in the next 5 years. It is here. It's here. Meta have changed their name. Facebook have changed their name to Meta. It's here. I mean, this is crazy.
Payment, yeah, until they adapt the model, make it free. It's free now, but your grandma's coming back to sell you butt cream. I'm not querying the ingenuity of Sikov or the many brilliant people working on AI, the geniuses that have emerged in this field. What I'm saying is that as we currently have a system that requires data harvesting, control of data, as we currently have a system where governments and big tech collaborate in order to share the power generated by these new unique technologies, unless those things are meaningfully changed so that ordinary people have control, ownership of their data, and awareness of the great potency of these already existing social media companies and big tech companies, this is just another dangerous advance. It won't be used for good, will it? It won't be used to help you meet your dead gran and get over your grief. If it is, that's a byproduct, like it always is. It's always a byproduct of the pursuit of profit and power because of the ideals. If we had a system where the objective was to, I don't know, create as many aquariums as possible, then this would be used to create more aquariums. We know what our system does at the moment. We're not naive anymore. We're not children. And I have a particular interest.
People like to think that the majority are not naive and children. Russ, you need to look at your numbers, basically. You start realizing to yourself, yes, your numbers are growing, but is it a lot? Is it enough to be able to say that the majority of the world, the world's population are actually tuning in, are waking up? Because it worries me. Like, are they? You see other videos. I mean, listen, most of the world is, if we're looking at the demographic, most of them are situated on TikTok right now. TikTok videos are getting hundreds of millions. Your ones are getting, very good numbers. Don't get it twisted, but I hope they're waking up is what I'm trying to say.
In us not neglecting spiritual growth, that aspect of growth that can only come from not having things, from relinquishing things. I'm not saying you should be poor and have nothing and all of that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that part of your progress as an individual has to be an inward journey that is not contingent on external stimuli. If you don't have that as part of your life, you will continually be the victim of these systems. Those who choose to partake will be able to turn the record function on and off as they wish, or thanks, and tell the company to delete all data should they ever choose. Though Sikov noted that the more data Somnium collects, the more accurate the other version of you will be in the future. Listen, if you let us have more data of you in the future, when you're dead in the ground buried and nothing matters anymore, other you down here will have a really good rendition of that cardigan you're wearing. So I don't care. But even with all the ethical preparation and experience the company can muster, there will be inevitable and justifiable ethical questions about allowing a version of a self to continue on in perpetuity. What if, for example, the children of a deceased Somnium space user found it painful to know he was continuing on in some form of their metaverse? I once had this thing where me and a girlfriend put avatars of ourselves on some like tennis game around a mate's house. And then when I go around with like my new girlfriend or wife, like that thing would still, I felt bad about that. It was just like a little thing playing tennis. It wasn't even really her. Also, this thing's founded on the giddy assumption that all people who build these avatars are lovely. Hello, I'm glad you came back to see me. Now I can tell you what a little prick you are. These things we'll have to figure out with our legal team. You certainly will, said Sikov. And also with our users, yes, and also with your consciousness and some form of omnipotent being that underwrites all apparent separateness. Well, there you go. AI grow, become more effective, more authentic, potentially more integrated into our lives. Brilliant geniuses in these fields, the tech titans that we mention all the time, are aware of the capacities of these new inventions and technologies. But if we don't deal with the spiritual reality of who we are, temporal beings that need love, that need connection, that cannot live on bread alone, that cannot live only on external stimuli, then we will continue to be victimized by a culture that ultimately wants you hypnotized, spellbound, and chained to external systems that ultimately want to sell you something, that want to take your data and give it to advertisers. Potentially, this could be a miracle, and I'm not querying the intentions of Sikov. He might have the most beautiful aspirations in the world, but as long as he is harnessed within a system of domination, the same way that science could be an objective tool to lead us to truth, or it could be used to underwrite tyranny. We're seeing loads of stories where that's happening right now. This technology will also be used to mine your data and control you further, instead of confronting the inevitable truth that you are a transient being in your embodied form, and that you have to connect with the part of you, in my opinion, that is eternal, through spiritual techniques, through meditation, through breath work. So, for example, if you'd like to spend a day with me and Wim Hof, click on the mailing list. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at this one or this one. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the ethical conditions of this. Am I worrying too much? Am I being too stupid? Do I think too much? Let me know all of that stuff below. But most importantly of all, please stay free.
Russell, I don't think you're being bothered. So I don't think you're worrying too much. I don't think you're being over concerned. I think this is just factuals. I think it's pretty much a worry. Period. Especially when you said sick of, he might have, you know, genuine wanting to help the world, and you know, the intentions are pure. They'll buy Sikov out. Whoever's they will realize how whatever has influence and power over people, those that have, you know, ultimate the most assets, the most assets, right, to be able to buy somebody out or tell them we want power over this, are going to give him assets in return for, you know, that power and influence. So that's what could potentially happen with Sikov. In terms of, you know, us being able to, you know, visit our loved ones in like a metaverse or some sort of, I mean, again, I had this conversation with my friend. It's weird, it's scary, but it's going to, I put it this way, it's going to help those that probably suffer from the loss of loved ones, that they just need for them to be able to go on. The worry is, one, if they're in this metaverse and they're able to see and, you know, communicate, you know, with their loved one, with these loved ones that have passed on, you know, using these within these realms, basically, right? And these means, it could be a situation where they may not want to come back out of it. And I think that's the main thing with people who kind of said this as well about the metaverse, that people going into it probably not wanting to wake up. You've seen the whole Matrix thing, and I know Russell will touch this as well, where people are, you know, like, you know, if you watch the Matrix, you've seen, you know, how they line in these pods and they're just basically living out their lives, basically not actually knowing that they're not actually awake. This is what the metaverse could turn into. So it's like we're walking, they're just slow walking people that are not awake or aware of this. They're just slow walking them into this, you know, life. So it's really gonna, I guess the metaverse will work for people that are not enjoying the real world, and they're gonna think, if I go there and I'm having fun and whatever, why am I ever gonna want to come out again? Plug me in for life, please. That is the worry. The problem is, like they said, it's the exchange. What you're exchanging that for? You're exchanging that for your data. Now the worry is, there are religious people that will say, you think you're exchanging your data, that, oh, it's the data, not knowing you're actually exchanging your soul. I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm just putting that out there. You may think it's a data exchange, not knowing that that could be the soul where you're giving your soul to. So just be, I don't like to come across like a conspiracy theorist, whatever the case be. It's just me just thinking too much. I think about this stuff a lot. This is why I wanted to touch on this and really, you know, have a conversation about it. But love the video. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think it's really intriguing. I love the topics that Mr. Brand kind of focuses on. I love his branding nowadays, and the way he's rebranding himself to the type of conversation, basically. And he's really talking about what he feels is going to happen, and I feel it's something that we should be having a conversation with as well. I'm going to be doing a lot more other videos about this. I think I want to touch on the Elon Musk one, which is somewhat similar to the future AI and stuff forth. I'm going to try to watch that and post that on. But guys, please, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Peace, and I'm out.